Hi, I'm Denise, host of the Working Moms Redefined podcast. Let's join together as we lessen the hold of mom guilt in our lives, thrive in our careers, and raise great kids. You are doing enough. Let us boost your confidence today on this episode of the Working Moms Redefined podcast. Our homes are to be our safe space. We begin and end our day in our homes. When you walk into a room, do you ever notice how it makes you feel? When you see a clutter on the kitchen table, do you instantly feel your body go into fight or flight? Do you freeze? Nobody likes that. And yet I am raising my hand and realizing my home has these aspects. This is exactly why we are having a conversation today with Jan Odesanya. She is the founder of Mundane. It is a beautiful design on demand app that she delivers curated. I love that word. It sounds so fancy. Room designs so that working parents like you and I can create calm and functional and beautiful spaces without the stress and honestly the huge design fee. Because instantly when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, what's the price associated with that? Because working parents also have working budgets. This fits into that. Jan has nearly a decade of interior design experience plus a 17-year background of IT. Put those two together, an app is created, and it helps us be able to bridge the gap between elevated design and everyday demands. Jan also has 3 children and has begun her journey with one simple insight. Traditional interior design is not built for busy families. And when she realized that, she created a business that has allowed her to thrive and take away the issues that sometimes present themselves, whether that's expense, time consumption, and the need to reach people that other interior designers struggle with. She believes that home should be a place where working moms can reset, reconnect, and feel supported. Sign me up, Jan. Thank you so much for being here. With our time together, by the end of it, we're going to learn a lot together. Tell us what listeners can expect to take away from our chat.
Thank you so much, Denise. I'm so happy to be here and I'm looking forward to such a fun conversation. I think that the number one takeaway for moms today would be you're not failing. It doesn't matter what your home looks like because today moms internalize that and say, I'm failing, I'm not working out, I'm a shitty mom, whatever it is. You're not failing. That's what I want you to take away today. I also want you to take away that your environment is shaping stress and sanity more than you know. The last thing is that there is no such thing as a picture perfect home.
In a Pinterest world where we see these beautiful photos and we think, why can't my home look like that? That means I'm not doing a good enough job keeping the house cleaned or things picked up or whatever that might look like. You are saying no. Stop with that soundtrack that you are playing over and over in your mind and instead realize you are not the one failing. Our homes are actually failing us. Tell me more. What does that mean?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So through the years, I am so mad at my industry for what they've done, especially to moms like me, because everybody photographs these picture perfect homes. Nobody photographs Lego on the floor. Nobody photographs laundries all over your sofa. And so they photograph these picture perfect homes with everything styled to the ninth. And it is not taking into consideration what we do every day with 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, 6 kids. Like, how can you do that? And so I am here to challenge that narrative that I inclusive, in my industry have created through the years that we've got to have these homes. I think that your home should support you and hold you and be there for you. And so, what I'm preaching is not that the homes should be like untidy. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is design that works for your every single day, that works for how you live, not how you want to impress Instagram, how you live every day.
I think back to our home, the way in which you said supports our lives. Your home is supposed to support you and like hold you. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds lovely. Of course, my next question is tell me how to get that. And we will. We'll talk about that later as we speak with Jan. Until then, you're so right. Oftentimes, we don't showcase the Legos on the floor, or we feel as if we need to pick that up sooner rather than later. You bet I'm going to go home and take some photos of, quote, the mess, because really there is beauty in that mess. And yet, how does that environment, whether it's, quote, messy or dirty or picked up or clean or whatever label that you want to put on it, how does the environment of our home impact mental health, especially working moms?
Oh, wow. That is such a good question because many of us don't know. We think that our homes are where we just sleep or where we just do life, right? We do not recognize that our homes and the environment around us is visual clutter for our minds. Every time you walk into a room that is not done, that is not finished, your cortisol levels rises because what's our cortisol levels? It's almost like the alarm inside our minds that tells us look, there's danger, right? And while that is great, like if my child was running across the street, like my cortisol level goes up higher. But every single day you walk into a room, it sets an alarm just somewhere behind the scenes in our minds to say, this isn't done. This is another decision that needs to be done. This is another decision that needs to be made. And so all those triggers goes on in our brain without us even knowing that throughout the day. So a great alarm once or twice or whatever, but you can imagine if that alarm is constantly going off in our brains throughout the day, every single day. And as moms, we already have so many decisions to make. We make decisions for kids, we make decisions for partners, we make decisions at work, we make decisions everywhere we go. And so when we come into our homes and our mind is constantly triggering all the decisions that we've been parking that we haven't made, then that just sends our stress level through the roof. We yell at our kids. We don't even know what's making us yell, right? We don't even know what's making us yell. Our kids bounce off the ceiling and bounce off because we're not creating environments that calm them down. We're not creating environments that condition them to just play easier, play better, play nicer. In the mornings, you would identify with me, Denise. Sometimes our mornings are crazy, absolutely crazy. But that's because we have backpacks in the closet. We've got shoes upstairs in the bedroom. We've got socks, God knows where, right? And so, because our environments are not supporting us the way we should work, then in the mornings, everybody's yelling, everybody's upset. You're late for school, you're late for drop-offs, late for work, and everybody piles into the car all frowning, screaming, tears, all that.
One of the biggest things that I decided to do to help in the mornings was put baskets of socks out in the mudroom where the shoes are. So then we're not running back to our bedrooms to get the socks and then coming back to get the shoes. Oddly enough, it also helps because they're close by the washer, so I don't have to, quote, put them away quite as far.
Yes.
That simple help has really eliminated an element of stress. I mean, we still have a Hudson and a Sydney who are, wait, I didn't want to wear these shoes. And so they have to go back. So I know that there are fixes to better be able to remove that increase in cortisol level that you referenced. You're so right. I mean, I come into a busy and full kitchen. I love it when it's full of people, but when there are dishes in the sink and a lot of papers on the counter, I've been known to pitch it. Oh, mom probably threw that away. And they're not wrong. Like, and I just want to get rid of it so that it's not cluttering.
Correct.
Why do you think that working moms have guilt about their homes despite success in so many other areas?
So, one of the major things is that through the years, we've had a narrative that says, spotless house, best mom ever. No, that's not right. Chicken. And so we moms, we just own it. When our houses are not spotless, when it doesn't feel like it's that Pinterest perfect, Instagram worthy house, we just internalize it and we just think that equals that, like I said earlier, like I'm failing, I'm not doing the right thing, I'm a bad mom. The other thing is obviously there's the social media aspect of it, but then there's also the narrative of people coming to my house, guests coming to my house, and I'm full of shame for my house. And what we do not recognize is that connection is what exactly it should be. Connection, not inspection. People are not coming to your house to inspect you and inspect how great and wonderful your house is. They're coming for deep connection. And so, what are the things that we can put in place to have that connection? And so that's why moms, I've got like stories and stories of moms who I've worked with, and some of them just burst into tears. And there was one client who just her neighbor, just to ask her over for just catch up coffee or whatever. She always put it off. She always put it off. And for the singular reason that she was just too ashamed of her home. But there are these little strategies. The thing is, through the years, we have lived in the lie that we need $1 million to make our home look beautiful and support us. We have lived with the lie that we need this big, massive McMansion to make what? No, I say no. That's the point. It is where you are right now. What is it that you can do to make your life better, to stop putting off connection? Don't feel guilty. Like all those things.
Connection, not inspection. How beautiful of a thought process. That can hold a heavy emotional burden. And yet, you have some small changes that we as working moms can implement that will impact our home. Can you share some of those?
Definitely. So let's start from the entryway, which is the almost like the worst disaster. Like the entryway is, should I say, the best or worst day of your day? It has the power to do that. It has the power to make it the best or the worst time. And so for me, it's the entryway, and for most moms, it's the same. But think about it. Think about what are the pressure zones in your house. Where is it that always absolutely has a meltdown? If there is something that happens all the time, you do your best, you're doing your, because that's the thing, mama, you are doing your best. You are cleaning up. You are the maid, the cleaner, the cook, the driver. You're doing all of that. And then you're working on top of that as well. Right? And so if there is any zone in your house, I want to start from the entryway that, constant meltdowns or constant, then it's the system that's failing you. It's your house that's failing you, not you. And so a simple thing, let me give an example with the entryway. Whether the entryway is through the front of the house or behind, I going through the back of my house, I hardly see the front door. I hardly see my front door. But if you are entering or exiting through a particular, think about your kids. Everything should be at kids level for every human. Every little human in your house should have a hook and a little cubby. It doesn't matter the space in your house. I'm not describing this Instagram big, massive houses. I'm talking about just a little cubby, like a little beam. Every little human, and name them accordingly. And it should be not hooks at mom's height, hooks at kids' height level, so that they're able to pick up their backpacks, shoes and socks, all that. You put a little wall file by the door that says action or school. Action for the things you need to sign, school for the things they need to take back to school. And every evening, have a 5 minutes reset where you just go to that entryway, make sure the shoes, all that kind of stuff is all there, hooks, everything, all done. And then take up all the things you need to sign them, put them in school. And then so that the next morning, as they go through the door, they pick up their shoes, they pick up the socks, they do all that stuff, pick up their, and remember to pick up the stuff that you've put in there for school. And that's it. That's a very simple one. And then the other thing, lighting is everything. Like, Lighting can change. Just if you're listening to me today, just do this one thing. Switch off all the overhead lights in your house and put lamps on. And you can imagine, even with all the mess on the floor, you cannot imagine what lighting does. Lighting automatically shifts the mood in the room. It just absolutely shifts the room in the room. So that's another thing that you can do. Lighting is a big thing. Same for kitchen tables, kitchens, and all that. Lunches, how the back to school, I don't know how moms are doing with back to school this last few weeks, right? Lunches, who takes care of the lunches? My kids do their lunches because I put everything there for them. So make sure that the snacks, everything are reachable. Kids' height, not mom's height, kids' height. And so the lunch boxes are next to the lunch snacks. And it's almost, think about a filing line. Think about a production line. Think about a production line. Let those lunches happen like a production line. They don't have to go across the room or across somewhere to get anything. No, put it right there so that they can sort out those. And so essentially, all these little tweaks is, Mama, think about it. What is the constant meltdown zone in your house? And put a system in place that makes it easy, not for mommy, for kids. Think about kids' play zones. Many moms put kids' play zones and then they have these organization systems that only them can use. Guess what? Mama will have to do the pickup afterwards. But if you have kids' areas where you've labeled the bins, not according to Lego and all that. No, kids don't get that. Put pictures or label them according to activities, construction, role play, whatever it is, right? So that way the kids can tidy up. My house is an absolute mess when my kids are playing, but guess who picks them up afterwards? Them, not me. Not me. They pick those things up. They're responsible because I've built a system in place for them to be able to do that. If I see pieces of paper all over the place, the drawings, my first son is absolutely mad with drawing maps. He's forever wanting pieces of paper. I just ask him, is your file finished? All that. So it's the systems, the little things you put in place, and start from the zones that are most hectic, where the meltdown happens all the time.
Our home currently is under construction, and your statement of saying which door you go in resonated so darn much. Previously, we would enter and we would go into a mudroom where it was kind of a catch-all. Shoes, book bags, everything had its place. We are moving our front door. Jan, holy cow, you would have thought that I have changed up the way in which we live our entire lives, because the place where book bags go is no longer there. Our shoes, I literally have to put them in a line so that I feel at the end of the day we are reset, ready to go. The couch, the entrance right now is in the living room. It's terrible. It is terrible because our system is out of whack. I don't love it. And yet it's an added stress that I know is temporary, but it is not fun. You are so right about the power that a friction point might have. Are there any other friction points that quietly add stress that you often hear from your clients?
The kitchen. The kitchen is a big one. The kitchen is a big one. Even for mom at dinner time, when all the stuff is all over the place. Why is your curtain board across the room? Why is it not next to the sink? And so the kitchen is a big one. The kitchen island is a catch-all for all things, right? And I understand that. I understand that many times, but it's also about putting the systems in place. When I design for my clients, I am listening to how you live. I am listening to how your kids live. I'm listening to all that, and I'm designing accordingly. This whole thing that we say, oh, just keep decluttering. It's no good. I'm not saying don't declutter. I'm just saying you can't. How many times can you tell someone declutter? How many times can you say that? It is the system. How are you designing this kitchen? How are you designing your home? How are you designing the place? And so for the kitchen table, I would say, or for the kitchen counter, I would say, even if it's two pouches, two little pouches by the side of your counter where you put the mail in, mail out. So mail in is mails that you haven't had time to look at, bills, all sorts of things you haven't had time to look through or go through. And then mail out is you need to file them away, right? Homework, whatever, move them away from the kitchen counter. Look for a tiny desk. It doesn't have to be a big, massive desk. A small desk somewhere near the dining, or it could be the dining table for homework, for activities, for things like that. Many, many times people think, oh, I'm going to wait till I live in this big, massive house and everything will be okay. And I'm telling you from experience, it's never okay, because the systems and the habits and everything you've grown up with and your kids have grown up with through the years, when you live in that big mansion, they're going to carry through. The habits are going to stay. People come to my house and they ask me, I have a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And people come to my house all the time and they say, oh, Jan, your house is always spotless. I'm not there beating my kids up every day. No, no, no. They grew up with that. They grew up with the systems. They grew up with everything has its place. And it's not everything that has its place for mom to put away. Everything has its place that you can reach, your hands can reach. And so if mom is putting things away where kids cannot reach, guess who is the maid? Mom. But when kids can reach them, when you design according to the kids in the home, design generally, historically, traditionally is almost like on kids friendly. So on kids friendly. And kids live in the house. Some moms yell at their kids for just existing because they have this perfect home they don't want to mess up. No, what are you doing with a white couch? These are all the little fixes that you can do today, starting in a 1-bedroom, in a 2-bedroom, in a rental, doesn't matter. If your kids grew up with that, when you move into that 10-bedroom mansion, it will be the same.
Because the system is broken, like you had shared. I love this concept. And if you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, I love this and I want more from Jan, stay with me. Towards the end, she gave us a coupon code. So you as a listener will be able to inquire with Jan about her services and get a little bit of a discount, while also realizing your IT background and interior design is shining through. You have created a business that really does a great job of integrating both together. How neat is that? Tell me, design on demand. You kind of alluded to it. Tell me what it is and why does it matter for busy moms?
Oh, goodness. So just a bit of a background. Because I was in IT, my approach to design is different. I look at it as process improvement and just making things work. And so when I came in full time, so while I was in IT, I had my design company, but it was a side gig. It was a side hustle for me. And that was the case for 8 years. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I packed up my IT bags and went fully into design. And so having to deal with clients every day and design homes, especially how expensive interior design is, I'll be the first to say it is so out of reach for many, many moms. And a lot of people have been priced out of the market. It's incredible. A mom who wants to design her home, doesn't know what to do, and clearly need professional help. But guess what? You're going to hire a designer. A cheap designer will charge you 5K. A cheap designer will charge you 5K. And I said, that's not okay, because everyone deserves a beautiful home. It's not a luxury. People look at it as a luxury. It is your day to day. And so design on demand is professional design off the shelf. That's the only way I can explain it. Professional design off the shelf. And so we've designed bedrooms, we've designed living rooms, we've designed kids' rooms, we've designed kitchens, bathrooms, everything. We've designed all sorts of places in the house. And you can look at those designs and you get it off the shelf, and then you get shoppable links, and then you get all that you need to put that room together in your own house, and styling guide specifically for that design that you bought. So the only way I can explain it is think professional design off the shelf. That's what it is.
and being able to fit it into our lifestyles. Beautiful, so cool to see how your tech background has really shaped the way that you approached design, the system, the methodology, yet the creativeness is integrated in. I'm assuming you've learned a lot throughout this process, whether that's from motherhood, entrepreneurship, and trusting your gut, probably. Share a little bit about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a journey, and people say that success isn't a journey. Sorry, success isn't a destination, it is a journey. And that's absolutely correct, because who this whole process has shaped me to be, even in the last 4 years, it's not the same person that I was 4 years ago. And one of the biggest things is that it has expanded my mind to the people that I really serve. And so when I'm talking to, usually in my interior design business, I'm talking to moms who can afford interior design. However, while I was building design on demand, it's putting my mind and putting myself in the shoes of the everyday mom that is working but cannot quite afford interior designer. And so just thinking about those processes and thinking about how they do their day to day has kind of almost like enlarged my heart. The other thing is my gut. I have followed my gut, because same thing, people say to me, oh, interior design is such a luxury, nobody is gonna, and I'm like, no, because I feel like moms need this today, moms need this now, because they're looking at that living room and they don't even know how to start, how to pull the colors together, what furniture matches, what they do not know. And my gut has told me it needs to be accessible right now. And that's why I built it, saying that interior design should be accessible to everyone. And following that gut, and I'm beginning to see success. We've only just launched this in April of this year was when we launched Mundane platform, and just seeing the moms that this is transforming. A mom used to have her meetings perched on the side of her bathroom, believe it or not, because that was the only silent place in her home. That's the only place she could find peace and quiet in her home. But purchasing one of the pre-designed rooms or spaces, she didn't quite have all that space, but being able, using the styling guide and being able to implement it in her home, she feels like this is my zone. This is where I belong. And hearing stories like that just means that I just followed my gut and did what I needed to do. And I'm beginning to see the fruits. This is only the beginning, though. This is only the beginning.
Beautiful. So cool to hear your journey and realize that it's going to change and shift even in another 2 years. Because I think sometimes we think, okay, I have to get to this end goal. I have to, but yet being willing to see the end goal shift while still measuring success is super important, and yet fun to see it change and shift.
Yeah.
The example of the bathroom is so relatable, because think about it. How many times have there been situations where you might go hide in a closet and enjoy a piece of candy so you don't have to share? Or you go into a closet to take a phone call so that maybe there aren't quite as many distractions. How can interior design and thoughtful choices within your design really show up as emotional support for moms?
Oh, that is so good. First of all, I was talking about those zones in in your house. Watch when you walk into a room, just imagine, just watch how your shoulder or your body reacts to that room. Sometimes your shoulders just kind of tighten, you just feel your body tighten, and that's an emotional cue. And so some of the simple things that you could do, I talked about lighting. I talked storage is a big thing. I know people talk, there's this banding up and down about storage. And it's not a lie. Storage in your house is just something that you cannot overemphasize. But the idea, though, is not storage for mom or storage that mom maintains all the time. Include the kids. But now, talking about how your home can give you those emotional cues, one of the biggest things for me, especially when I talk to moms, is we spend all our day thinking about everybody else. How about you? How about you? So carve out a home, a place in your house for you. And it doesn't matter where that is. For me, my place in my home is on the couch. We have a sectional, the widest part of the couch where the two part, that's my zone. So I put that part next to it. I've got a little basket and I put blankets in there. And so everybody knows that's mom's blanket. I mean, I have other blankets there, but I have a blanket, one that. And so after dinner, every single day, I curl on that couch with my blanket and I'm watching either Netflix, a TV show, or something, right? Everybody knows that's my corner. Everybody knows. And so if in your, whether it's in your bedroom, just put a chair, a lamp, or reading a set of books, your favorite books, or that candy that you don't want anyone to share. Put it in the nice box next to it. So just saying that, just doing that shows you I belong. I matter. Just doing that shows I belong. I matter. Everybody else matters, but I matter too. And so moms need to be thinking about themselves and do something. Sometimes it's not just in your mind, do it with your hands. I said to my client one time when she was talking about her kids not being able to know the difference between when she's working because she works from home. And I'm like, put something that indicates the mom at work. When the light is on, they say mom is working. And when the light is off, mom is off work. And I say, close your day with your hands, not just with your calendar. Shut something. Close your day with your hands. Close your laptop and put it in a box. Put off the lights. Do something, whatever it is. Not everybody has an office to themselves. I have an office to myself. And so when the door is shut, everybody knows mom is working. However, if you don't have that, then do something. Put a rug. That's a tiny rug that separates you from the rest of put a tiny rug, put a chair, put a table. And once mom, and look for a visual cue, something that separates when you're working from when you're not. And let everyone in your house be conditioned to know this is mom's moment where she's working. A lot of us do not think kids are so adaptive. They think, oh, they'll fall apart. No, they won't. No, they won't. If you do it consistently for 3 weeks, 21 days, they will know. They will recognize it. Their brains will start to tell them, this is mom's time. This is mom. And it says to me, I count to. I count to. I belong to. I matter to.
Jan, holy cow. You said right there so many things that I know more than just me needed to hear. Because instantly when you were sharing, put a rug, I'm thinking my 6-year-old would jump over that rug as quickly as he possibly could to get to mom for a hug. And there's that push and pull of me that's, oh my goodness, I need to finish writing this speech versus, okay, I'll give him a snuggle. That's wonderful. He just wants connection. And it's hard because you cannot fully shift from work mode to mom mode. It is so darn hard. And maybe I need to try a rug. Or is there like I think of those like stand-up barrier things.
Yes, like do that. Whatever it is. Whatever, like, I think moms, God created us differently, right? I know sometimes my 3-year-old walks in here and says, Mom, but I'm alone. And I say, okay, come, I'll give you a hug. But I give her a hug and I'm like, Mom needs to work. And she knows and she just walks right out. All she needed was that 10 seconds of attention, not 10 hours, not 1 hour, because guess what? I need to work. But over time, I've built it within her and within all my kids. And so, yes, I can listen to you, but I can give you 5 minutes and then I'm back to work.
Jan, being that you are based out of Canada, I'm assuming a lot of your clients are in the US. Do you find any of us over here have a harder or struggle more so with something than those who are closer to you? Or is it kind of working moms often always struggle with X?
Yeah, it's universal. It is universal. I used to live in the UK. I used to live in Australia, and now I live in Canada. And I've been an interior designer in those countries, and it is universal. The accent might be different, but the problems are the same.
And there's a sense of comfort in that, right? Because it's almost reassuring to know Okay, my struggles are like those that are right next door and literally across the pond because connection happens in community. When we think about creating our own little community within our own home, you have the systems, you have the ability to be able to make that possible. And so, so exciting. So neat. We have been wrapping up podcast episodes with lightning round questions. And so, Jan, we will get to that. But in our show notes, I know at this point in time, you're like, I want to check out Mundane, this design on demand app. I want to learn more about Jan on social media. Do it. I followed her recently, and it's been so fun to watch her. Her vibrancy is beautiful, and you know that that is going to translate into your home because color matters, right? I think about, for me personally, I love things clean, and when I say clean, I mean like white, probably. I like things white and bright, and then I decorate with color. Is there power in that? Is that wrong? Is that right?
Yes. No, 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 no. I love color, but then don't go crazy on the color. Like, it depends. Like, different people have different, like, do you? Like, totally do you? Like, I do. I'm not a judgmental interior designer. Color always brings life and vibrancy and almost interest into any space. And so if you're white, I do white kitchens. People have been, going off on white kitchens recently on social media saying, oh, they're dull and they're lifeless. And that's not true. I just love white kitchens. I can put the color in, but I do love white. So do you, whatever appeals to you, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you smile. Our homes are our homes. They're not social media homes. Your home is for you to smile and feel welcomed home every single time. Your home should give you a hug. And so if you're a color kind of girl, absolutely do color. Now don't go crazy. And that's where I think design expertise comes in play because, people decorate with what? 10 different colors or whatever, right? So, that's where design expertise comes into play. However, do you totally?
To think about your home is supposed to give you a hug, your shoulders instantly relax because that cortisol goes away. I love it. Okay, so in those show notes, you have the ability to connect with Jan. There is a discount code for Working Moms Redefined listeners. Check that out. I know I am. I've been opening the website up. It is so neat to be able to see how not only is this so fiscally responsible, because man, less than $500 to be able to have a designer in your home, so cool. The stuff that you get instantly, you get to browse room designs, you get to see how it works. You can tell you're a tech lady that knows what she's doing while also, okay, like if you're watching on YouTube, check this out. I mean, it is beautiful. I can't wait to look a little bit closer.
Thank you.
To say all of that, check out the show notes. We'll also post it on our Working Moms Redefined social media. Lightning round questions, Jan. First one. What is the first space in your home that you would tell a working mom to tackle if she wants instant relief?
Oh gosh. Entryway without thinking about it. It's the first and last of your day. It can make or break your day. And when I mean entryway, I'm not saying the front door. Whatever is your entryway. For me, it's my back door.
That's great. Okay, coffee table or kitchen counter, where does clutter pile up faster?
From talking to thousands of moms through the years, definitely kitchen counter.
That's funny. What is one design rule, if you will, quote, rule that you love breaking?
Everything matching. Like, that is horrific, horrendous. Like, those bedroom sets they sell it like the shops? Awful, awful. Or even you doing your living room and everything is blue or everything is beige. Or like, yeah, no.
I love this idea of being able to mismatch and it be okay.
Yeah, mismatch. And maybe because I'm a designer, so I know how to mismatch nicely.
In one word, how do you want moms to feel in their own homes?
Supported.
I feel supported by you saying that.
Yeah, like unfortunately, our homes, it's just a narrative through the years. And I hope that I can change this one mom at a time. your home should support you. And if it doesn't do that, then clearly it needs work. And it's not work from a designer that's going to give you everything that's too precious for anyone to sit on and beautiful to look at and magazine worthy. No, it is a designer that knows exactly what they're doing in terms of how your home should support you and your kids, because the kids are very much a part of the home.
That was perfect. Holy cow. Way to wrap up this episode in our time together, Jan. That was amazing. We cannot wait for you to learn more about her, more about mundane, so that you can really take your house into a chic and, you said, elegant way. Is that the definition behind your business?
Yeah. Mundane means chic and elegant.
Sign me up. Working moms, working parents, people who want to get a redesign for their home to make it fit their lifestyle so that your home can give you a hug because you start and end your day in a safe space. This is a wonderful way to be able to do this. And it might be hard to take that next step, whether it's like, looking around and giving yourself permission to walk into each room and evaluate how that room actually makes you feel. What great advice. And or maybe taking a look at some of these photos to think, okay, I love this. I want to make this happen and I can do so on a budget. This is exactly why we have these conversations. So thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Working Moms Redefined podcast. Thank you for listening to the Working Moms Redefined podcast. It is not lost on me that you chose to spend time together. Thank you. Let's connect outside of this space on socials. We'd love for you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. We've got it all to connect with you. If you feel as if someone in your life could be impacted by this message, feel free to share it. That is the biggest compliment. As we part ways together, remember, you can do hard things.
And I believe that we would just I'm going ahead of myself. I get very feisty when I'm talking about this.